Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, so let's get to it. The very first thing I want to tell you guys about is actually a company that was brought to my attention by Paleo Nerds. So a huge shout out and a thank you goes to them for pointing this company out and informing me of their existence. You can see the name of the company right here, and they actually are creating scientifically accurate models of specimens of prehistoric fauna. Their models are actually created with the scientific supervision of Willie Gosti, who is a science communicator known on YouTube actually as ZooSparkle, and they use an innovative 3D printing technology that favors accuracy and customization of the models. The material used for printing is actually a biodegradable plastic made from renewable natural resources. And the models are actually available in two different versions. You can buy them painted, so you can have the fully painted versions, or you can buy them colorless, so then of course you can customize and paint them yourself in whichever way you would like, which I think is a really cool aspect of these models. Definitely something that's a little different than most companies, and I actually really quite like that because many people tend to enjoy repainting their models. Well, you could just immediately buy the model in general in the first place without the paint on it, and then kind of paint it up to however you would like, which I think is again a really good idea if you are aiming to please pretty much any type of a collector. And each model actually comes with exclusive artwork and sticker drawn by the talented paleo artist who has created them. And you can see there were actually 6 models initially that were introduced to this line when I was given this information. You can of course see quite a few different species that are here included, some of which are pretty obvious as far as who they are, some of which are really exciting, like a Megalosaurus is something you don't see too often, so that is a really exciting species to be included here. However, they actually have just recently introduced yet another species to their line, and you can see here it is the Mixosaurus, and I think each of their models are really nicely done, quite beautiful as far as the sculpt and detail goes, and something that I would love to be able to get my hands on at some point, maybe take a look at and review for you guys here on the channel. But again, if this is something you are interested in picking up or inquiring further about, I will include a link in the description to where you can contact them, and again, purchase yourself some of these very cool models and support another incredible up-and-coming dinosaur company. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is actually Mesozoica. It's been quite some time since we had actually heard anything from them. It was a little bit of a delay in between news as far as they go, thanks to, of course, everything going on currently with the pandemic and all of that unfortunate business, but they just unveiled kind of a bombshell on us. As we knew they were going to be coming out with a Crystal Palace line at some point. They've been kind of teasing the Crystal Palace models here and there the past few months, and I have just been so anxiously awaiting some news as far as these go. Well, we now have a ton of news, and obviously by now, as I ramble on, you could probably see just how incredible these images are of the Crystal Palace line. They are actually going to be producing this very cool deluxe version that you can see here, where you can purchase all 3 models at once, and I think the packaging, the presentation, everything about this is so insanely awesome. Probably one of the coolest looking dinosaur related releases that I've ever seen, and of course immediately tugging at my heartstrings as far as like that vintage style dinosaur goes, and they don't really get much more vintage than the Crystal Palace dinosaurs. Of course, for this deluxe edition there are 3 models that include the Iguanodon, the Megalosaurus, and the Plesiosaurus, and you actually get, of course, a little bit of artwork that you can see there as well. And the pieces are actually made in polystone. Or you can purchase the Iguanodon and Megalosaurus separately or individually, however you would like. Again, you don't have to purchase the deluxe edition to get a hold of those 2 figures. You can purchase those individually. I don't know quite yet when exactly these figures are actually going to release, but obviously at this point it's not too far off in the future, as we can see everything is coming together quite nicely as far as the packaging, the figures themselves. The figures themselves are incredible, actually. I didn't even comment on how beautiful the final product of those really is. It's just unbelievably gorgeous. Again, something that I've pretty much been dreaming about for years would be owning some beautiful Crystal Palace models, and I think Mesozoica here has perfected the Crystal Palace models and created again just pretty much a dream as far as I'm concerned. So of course, as always, make sure you check out Mesozoica on Instagram to keep up to date with everything going on, and when we do have word of the official release and links to purchase, I will let you guys know. And then in something that's quite cool as far as Rebor goes, I had shown shown you guys kind of a tease that they had given us of their upcoming vintage Tyrannosaurus, the third vintage Tyrannosaurus that they will be releasing. However, they now have officially unveiled the entire body to us, and it is an ode to the Invicta Tyrannosaurus, so you can see exactly what it looks like now as far as the full-bodied version goes, and Rebor is just killing it as far as these vintage dinosaurs go, and I think this Invicta kind of tribute is just another beautiful figure from them. Rebor is absolutely destroying it right now as far as these really cool old school dinosaurs, and between Rebor and Mesozoica, I am loving all of the old school dinosaur models. Such a great time as always to be a collector, but especially right now if you are a fan of that kind of old school style dinosaur. There is just so much to be excited about, and this Rebor Tyrannosaurus is just yet another example of that. And then as far as Karol Rudyk Art goes, I had shown you guys a Tyrannosaurus that they had produced a while back. Well, now they are just trying to make me fall head over heels in love with them because they are releasing a Carnotaurus, and what a beautiful looking Carnotaurus. I am 1000% over the moon in love with this Carnotaurus. Just like their Tyrannosaurus, it is extremely highly detailed, and you can see that throughout the entire model. There is just every ounce of detail and sculpt that you would expect to find is completely present on this model, but it's a really cool pose as well, and just generally a gorgeous looking Carnotaurus. I love the bulkiness of the neck area of the Carnotaurus. It just makes it look so much more intimidating with that look to it. No word quite yet on price or anything as far as I know of, but when I do find this information out, of course, I will let you guys know, and you can, of course, see the Karol Rudyk Art website address right there, or you can contact them on Facebook, and I will include a link in the description for you to do just that. And then as far as Mattel goes, they have unveiled the Dennis Nedry Getaway Pack that is coming to Target very soon, and actually these images were unveiled to us from Target. The website has put up a listing for the figure. Unfortunately, it is not in stock quite yet, but you can see how incredible this looks now with these beautiful high quality images, and again, just in general, what is exactly included. You can see a gorgeous looking Dilophosaurus there, pretty much your standard kind of attack pack style Dilophosaurus with new paint application, which I actually quite like. You also have a Dennis Nedry, which has a stick, which is a really cool little addition to the set. Of course, this entire set is taking you straight back to Jurassic Park in the scene where Nedry was unfortunately met with his demise from the Dilophosaurus, but you can also see, of course, the Jeep, which was kind of a big part of that scene, and the fact that the top can come off of the Jeep and everything. Just a really cool set overall, and I hope that Mattel continues to kind of follow in this trend of releasing toy sets as opposed to just individual figures. I would love to see more sets and everything, especially when it comes to stuff like this. Really, really cool with that Jurassic Park logo and everything on the side there. This is a beautiful release that I am really looking forward to. So now after seeing these images, I have to just sit back and impatiently await its release, hopefully sometime very soon. And then a huge shout out goes out to Dino Mike Mac on Instagram for giving me this information, but we have kind of a promotional poster here from overseas that was sort of showing off some upcoming Mattel figures. Unfortunately, the poster includes an email address because I believe the poster was originally confidential, not something that we were all meant to see, so we can't exactly show the poster here because I don't think it's fair to the person who it was kind of taken from and exposed from, but we can show you these images here, which is something that's been cleaned up a little bit. They've been passed around throughout the internet a little bit here, and you can probably tell that there is a new species in the bottom left-hand corner that looks very interesting. Well, if we actually go over to this, as far as the Mega Destroyer line, it states that we will be getting a Carcharodontosaurus, a Stegosaurus, a Suchomimus with capture gear, a Quetzalcoatlus with capture gear, and then the one that I just skipped over to kind of read last would be the Lithronax with capture gear. And I would also love to see in general some more figures coming with capture gear like the Suchomimus and Quetzalcoatlus, especially with the Quetzalcoatlus, as we've only had one version prior to this, so it would be nice in general to see a repaint get released at some point. But of course, we have the Carcharodontosaurus as well, which is something that I personally am extremely excited about, although we did already know that that figure is coming at some point. On the poster, we actually have another species that is unveiled to us. Again, the images on the poster aren't really anything that are important because they're all just kind of placeholder images. They're not actual images of the figures themselves, so we don't really need to show off the poster to try to potentially get the person in trouble who it came from. But again, there is actually an Iguanodon that is on the poster as well, so we should be getting an Iguanodon, a Lithronax, as well as these other figures that we had just previously spoken about. So a lot of really cool stuff coming from Mattel at some point in the very near future. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.